Welcome to the Volunteer Show. My name is Dan McElroy, and I represent the Victoria County Videography Club. And in cooperation with Cable 10, we will be bringing you a series of programs looking at volunteers and the organizations that they work for. Volunteers who help make our community a better place to live.
Hi, and welcome to the Volunteer Show. My name is Dan Willison, and we have a very interesting show for you today. First, I have a question for you. Do you know what Lindsay's smallest transportation company is? Think about it for a moment. Are you thinking? Okay. The person I have with me today is Larry Murphy of the Lindsay District Model Engineers Club. Welcome to our program, Larry. I'm very pleased to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm very, very pleased to have you here. Could you tell us a little bit about the history of your club?
Well, this club has been around since the mid-1960s, and it's been active in a formal manner for about the last 25 or 26 years now, a little bit more than that, I guess, almost 30 years, I hate to admit, but I've been here for all of that. We've been running, formally running shows at the Armoury now for 27 years, and so we're getting long in the tooth as far as the club is concerned. And the history of it was a group of people who enjoyed making these things run like the real ones, and that's where it got started. We met in people's homes initially, and then we decided that when we got up to 14 or 15 people, we had to go someplace where we had more space.
Thanks, Larry.
Now we're up to over 30.
Over 30. Lovely. Could you give us a profile as to what your membership is like, age-wise? And
Well, we range anywhere from 7 years of age to probably 80. And as far as occupations, it varies. We have managers, we have policemen, we have clerks, we have accountants, we have mechanics, electricians, etc. So it's really a very broad-based hobby in terms of its interest scope. The people who come from all walks of life, and they contribute their own unique expertise.
Okay. What I was wondering was your layout. It's a really very impressive layout. I'm wondering if you could tell me what it's like.
Well,
how many feet of track do you have, for instance?
This layout is about 55 feet long in total. There's over 1,600 feet of track. There's 125 track switches, the turnouts. I think there's 27 blocks, and we can run 5 or 6 trains at the same time. So that answers several of your questions, I suppose, in terms of the layout. It's designed as a miniature transportation system with a major terminal at each end, and the ability to move trains from one end to the other, hopefully in a prototypical manner, akin to how the real railways move trains over railway lines. That's what the idea is.
How many, what's the proportion of passenger stock to freight stock?
I think we have about 40 passenger cars on our roster, and we have probably 300 freight cars.
Do you have a personal piece of equipment yourself?
Well, I chose one here. It's a general service gondola, and I particularly like them. Maybe the reason I like this one is it's over 30 years old. It's been around for a long time. And they're a very unique car, and Canadian National had quite a number of them. And I'm working on a project right now that will require quite a number of these to make it look realistic. So this is my favorite at the moment. So it's a general service gondola.
Oh, I'm glad to see that you don't have a particular one that you just locked into on a permanent basis. I guess you really have a lot of favorites, don't you?
Well, I don't think favorites as what. I tend to work in the era of the 1950s, and so any cars that fit that era, I'm content with them. I have lots of others, but that's my favorite era in terms of modeling. I try to do historically correct modeling as well, so that's a personal preference. You're asking me that, I guess, and that's how that's my position on it. So.
What about most of the other members? Do they have...
We have people who have a significant interest in a particular railway. One of the people that's coming on here shortly has a particular interest in Canadian National in what's called the CN SIG, and he can tell you a little bit about that. But we have some members who are involved in that. We have members who have been interested in railways such as the Southern Pacific and so on. So they specialize in areas that are of interest. Some people are interested in doing electrical wiring or doing special circuits and so on that work by themselves. Automatically, so that that's an area of interest. Some people like doing the scenery, so that's another area of interest. What I like to think about this hobby is it's three-dimensional art, where you create the landscape for the trains to look more realistic, and then you eventually get around to the point where you weather the trains to make them look like they've been rained on or whatever, or run through the mud.
Well, I know when I was a kid, I always wanted an electric train, and it seems to me that the tracks were a lot wider than this.
They were twice as wide as this, actually.
I know that
you're referring to. So.
Right. Can you explain the different gauges and?
Well, there are.
I know that's what they're called.
Right. Yeah. The smallest commercial gauge is Z scale, and it's a ratio of 1 to 320. And the next size up is N gauge. It's a ratio of 1 to 160. The next scale up is TT gauge. It's a ratio of 1 to 100. The next one up is HO, and it's a ratio of 1 to 87. The next one up is OO with a ratio of 1 to 76. The next one up is S gauge with a ratio of 1 to 64. The next one up is O gauge, which is a ratio of 1 to 48. And then the next one, for practical purposes, is G scale with a range of 1 to 25.
Did you have to?
There are others as well.
Did you have to study this to come up with all those magical numbers?
No.
One of the things that you mentioned in our previous conversations was the fact that you aged your new rolling stock. Would you like to explain that for our audience?
What we do, we take a clean, pristine car, if you will, that looks like it came right off the showroom floor, a railway car, and we paint it with a mud color or a black color, and then put it on thin and wipe it off before it completely dries. It's kind of a tinting, if you will, with mud colors to make it look like it's been out in the weather and so on. Some people get very good at it so that it looks very realistic. Others, tend to be happy with just maybe just rusting some of the metal parts with rust paint or something like that. But there's a combination of things, and it's in the eyes of the beholder, so it's up to the individual, really.
Okay, what I'd like to ask you now is your club's involvement with the community, and you mentioned to me that you have somebody in mind to explain that.
Well, I'd like to bring one of our other members on side here. We run a show every year, and Eric's the co-chair, so I'd like to introduce Eric Potter if he'd just come on scene here, and I'll step out of the scene.
Hi, Dan.
Nice to meet you, Eric.
Nice to meet you, too.
Sure, would you like to not cover my questions?
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm kidding. Would you like to explain to us what it is that you do for the community? And I know that your club is a big benefit.
Well, every year now for the past 27 years, this actually will be the 27th year, we've put on a model railroad show, which has been open to the public. It's usually been the first or second weekend in April, and we found that it's been a very successful way of introducing the public to our hobby. They get to see all facets of it. We bring, besides our own layouts, we have layouts that you don't see here. We call them traveling layouts, and we bring them and display those. And also we invite different organizations from across Southern Ontario to come to our show every year too.
Oh, that's really great. Thanks. What are there some kind of special areas that you like to emphasize, buildings or so on? Or?
Well, again, we try and emphasize everything. Like, it's a hobby for all people. There's so many different facets of it that there's something for everybody in it, whether it be doing scenery, building, or putting together kits of buildings, rolling stock, running trains. We have people that bring photographs if you're interested in history and collecting photographs. This year we're going to have, as Larry mentioned before, special interest groups or SIGs, which deal with the history of certain railroads. Like, we're having the Canadian National Special Interest Group, the Canadian Pacific Special Interest Group. What these organizations do is they deal strictly with one railroad, its history, its rolling stock, its buildings. They get into the modeling aspect of it, rail fanning, which is where people go out and actually watch the prototype or the real thing, so on and so forth. So they're going to be there this year. We also have Lionel, which is what you were mentioning before. The
larger gauge,
right.
yeah.
We're going to have Lionel, which most anybody that grew up in the 50s or 60s obviously remembers Lionel. That was usually their first train set. It was the Lionel set. So we have that coming, and a number of other layouts in different scales and gauges. Plus we have vendors coming as well with model railroad equipment for sale, both North American and British.
So then, you mentioned the whole business of the importance of photographs and so on. So if anyone has any kind of railroad memorabilia, like slides or photos or catalogs or anything like that, what would your club do? Would you just borrow those and copy them and return them, or?
Well, it depends.
I guess you'd like a donation.
It depends on what, if a person comes up with a slide collection or a photograph collection or some other memorabilia to do with the railroads, especially in this part of the country, it depends on what they want to do. Sometimes they donate it. Sometimes we just borrow it. It depends on the individual and what they want to do with it. Hopefully one day maybe we'll have a museum here where people with that sort of thing can donate it to the museum so it'll go on display for the general public.
That sounds like a really great idea. Thanks.
Yes.
Now, it's kind of exciting talking about all of this. Well, do you have a phone number that people could call if they'd be interested in joining the club?
Well, they can get a hold. There's different members. There isn't one particular membership chairman as such. If they wanted to call me, for instance, my phone number is 328-3749. I'd be more than willing to talk to them about anybody that wanted to join the club, because we're always looking for new members and everybody is welcome.
Thanks. Well, it's really pretty exciting to talk about the trains and everything else. Eric, after looking at the trains like this, it would really be great if I could go on a little tour.
Well, that would be no problem at all, Dan. What I'll do is I'll introduce you to Wayne Lamb, who is also a show coordinator. He's my other side, and he will take you for a tour.
Thank you very much.
Your TV's From the Archives will return in a moment. Welcome back to Your TV's From the Archives.
This is South Yard, and the station that's in front of you is kind of a reminder of the Hamilton station. And we bought it secondhand, and we put it on our layout. And this is the passenger terminal, and then out front is our freight yard. And we pull in with the passenger and then leave with the passenger, and then another guy can operate a freight out front and then pull the cars out that he needs to go to the next industry or town that he has to go to.
Wow.
And if you notice some of the buildings in the background, we've cut them in half so you can make two buildings out of one.
Lovely.
And they fit along the backdrop, and it works out really well. Then as we work out of the yard, we come up to the easy cut lumber, and Doug Smith and a couple other guys, they worked on the sawmill, and they've got it done up pretty good, and it's able to access, bring up a couple of cars, pick up the lumber and take logs in, and then take the lumber out. And we have a train in a minute that will pop out from under the tunnel on the end of the sawmill.
Right. So this is a copy
Yes.
of a real sawmill, as well as they remember it.
It's kind of a generic sawmill.
Okay.
It's not an actual
Right.
brand like sawmill from somewhere you know.
Okay.
But
Oh, there's the train.
that's right.
This is really great, Wayne.
Yeah. We're coming up towards small town, and it's got a bakery and fruit storage, and there's some other dairy building and some other industry. You got the co-op grain elevators here, and we switch all those industries as well. And go ahead.
No, it all looks so realistic.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, there's a lot more detail that can be done. This is a small town, and the passenger train has stopped to pick up people to get on board. And as we leave small town, we head into the mountains, and the train goes through a tunnel and it comes out on a wall on the other side. And then it goes past a coal mine, and it goes down a big spiral and across a wood trestle.
Well, there she goes. Let's see what it looks like coming out the other side.
There it comes through the wall, and it'll go across the landscape, and then it'll disappear into another tunnel just above the coal mine. By the way, this bridge was built by one of our members, Bud Bates, about 11 years ago. It's all handmade. The train has left the tunnel and crossed the bridge, and now it's heading up to McFadden, where our grain elevators are, and there's a station stop up here to pick up some more passengers. McFadden is one of our last stops at this end of the layout for passengers, and the rest is freight oriented. It's also has 3 grain elevators and a cattle pen, and you can pick up either your sheep or your cattle and take them to market. And we also have an oil depot down at the end there too.
Sorry?
And we also have an oil depot at the end,
Right.
past the grain elevators.
Right.
The inspiration for the name came from the name of one of our members who was killed in a car accident.
Yes.
His name was Don McFadden from Woodville.
Yeah.
I like all the fine detail touches you have, like
Yes.
culverts and everything else.
Yes, and the trees and the
Yeah.
weeds and stuff. Yes, one of our members, Larry Murphy, he's a very good artist, and he can make anything look real, you know, like he's got the artist touch.
There in about 3 seconds.
This is our North Yard passenger terminal. And the building that's in the background, the big building, is a recreation of the Buffalo Railway Station. And the center column that goes up with the lines is supposed to be the tower section of the building and never got finished. And the member that started that, he moved to the United States, so we never got to finish the building. But it's okay. All right. Yes, this is our north end freight yard, and you can see the end of the passenger terminal. And this is the freight end of it. We can put about 75, 80 cars here, and each car has a card, a destination point, where each car goes to an industry or whatever from town to town, and it can drop a load off, pick a load up, and you leave with a train with 10 cars, and you come back with 10 cars, but it takes you 3 hours to drop off and pick up. And
So,
it operates
these
just
are the
like
cards you're talking about, eh?
That's right. Each car on the railroad has a number, and the number corresponds with the name and the type of car, and it goes to a different industry.
So are these called like route cards, or?
Yes.
In fact, there's
Yep.
down. Okay. Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I often wondered how they kept track at. So you're doing it exactly the same way as if you were a regular railway line.
Yes.
Wow.
And we try to do that, and it makes it a little more fun. And you get into switching, it's complicated, especially when you need a run around to push the car the opposite way from where the engine is. And
Do you have an arbiter to sort out? Any kind of complications you get when?
Every so many months we have to go through and resort the cards with the cars because they get out of order.
Right.
And it takes a few hours to set it back up again.
I really like the touches of authenticity you have, all the details you have just in the scenery in the background. It's really it's so realistic, and viewers will be able to appreciate that when they view the film after and they see more footage. It's really great, Wayne.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
Back through
An excellent tour.
Yeah. And we've also got another industrial section over here. It's Murphyville, and it is very well done too.
Right.
And it's quite a little switching way.
Did members choose to work on a specific town, for instance, or did people just work the way their talents led them?
A lot of it is the talents, like we have a track gang, that's what they're good at, so
Okay.
they lay the track, and,
Right.
and another crew did the wiring, and then you try to get another crew that's good at assembling buildings, and then we
Right.
try to get them to put it, and then we try to sort out the towns, and some of them, we gave them names from club members or former club members, and that's what we tried to do.
I think it's a really nice way to honor
It is,
former
yes.
club members
Yes,
by doing that. Yeah.
Yes.
Really impressive. Really, really impressive.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for your tour, Wayne. I
Oh,
really
no problem.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's our show for today. We hope you enjoyed it and that you will join us the next time. Until then, we salute the volunteers who work in our community.